Hi there, and welcome to Visual Art Photography. I'm Ray Scott. Well, when I go out to shoot flowers, usually I'm not thinking about using a wide-angle lens, and that's because it can offer you a riot of color, and that's pretty impressive in itself, but often the image appears to be rather stagnant, and there isn't a lot of dynamic quality to it. Also, if you don't happen to be in the country and you're shooting wildflowers in an urban setting, you may have problems with the background. But today, we are using a wide-angle lens because there is a different way to use it while shooting flowers that can add a great amount of dynamic quality. Now today, we'll be using a wide-angle 16 to 35 millimeter f2.8 lens. Now the nice thing about this lens too is that you can focus pretty closely. What we're going to be doing is, instead of moving back and shooting a wide amount of flowers, a big amount of flowers, we're going to be actually moving in close and adding a dynamic quality and a kind of a different angular effect to the whole thing. So let's take a look at wide-angle wildflowers today. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please feel free to do so by hitting the subscribe button and then hitting that bell icon so that you can get all the notifications for all the latest videos that come out. Now today we will be shooting wide-angle wildflowers in an urban setting. And remember, I mentioned that it could be a problem because of the background. Well, here's what it looked like, and this is what we're going to do with it. Power lines, houses, poles, just all kinds of messes here. It's a really difficult thing in the urban landscape to try to make something that is so natural and wonderful that maybe you would be seeing more often in the country, and we're going to try to make it look like it's coming in the country. But as a shot like this, you know exactly where it is. Beautiful flowers, though, you've got to admit. Another view of it. I've left my camera bag there to show you the scale of it just a little bit, but it's just a row almost of beautiful flowers, and I'm going to attempt to make this look like it's not in the urban landscape. And with a wide-angle lens, that's not going to be easy. There are lots of challenges. Okay, so this is just a basic shot with a wide-angle lens, 32 millimeters. That's what I'm using, f16 for all of the exposures for your aperture. All right, so this is nice, but this is what I'm talking about. It's just kind of static. It's very pretty. The flowers are nice, but it's kind of static. So what do you do with a wide-angle lens? You move in close. And I'm really, really close to that flower on the left now. I'm telling you, I'm just inches away, although it would appear to be a little further away than that. That's the beauty of the wide-angle lens. Now, everything else, even though it's f16, is a little bit out of focus. That's okay too, because your visual is definitely on that flower on the left-hand side. You can put it right in the front if you want, almost in the middle, and you get more of a sense of what's going on with that. Again, and this one shot at 23 millimeter, 23 millimeters, and look at the lighting. And that day, by the way, the sky was a little bit overcast, but there was still sun coming through, filtering through, and it made for a really nice lighting. It was great for that. It wasn't too bright, but it wasn't too dull either. 20 millimeters. And I like this shot because it's got the three flowers that are in focus, and everything else is kind of gone a little bit out of focus in the back, but you really get a sense of what's going on with all of this. It's there, and you don't know that it's not in the country. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's in the urban landscape. There's nothing showing in the background, but you have to be really, really careful, and it's really difficult because the wide-angle lens wants to let everything in, and you've got to get in really close. But you get in close to these flowers, just inches away, as I mentioned, and you get that dynamic quality. And the flowers start to get character as opposed to just being sort of static. Talking of character, how about this one? This one reminds me of someone standing on a stage and talking to an audience. That's character. As you see the back of this flower, and this is shot at 35 millimeter, by the way. You see the back of this flower, and it's kind of almost like it's speaking to all of its subjects, all of the other flowers. So kind of a different treatment for your wildflower photography, and that's possible because of the wide-angle lens. This one's really wide open now. This is 16 millimeters, which is the most I can get out of my lens. And trust me when I say that the homes and everything wants to get in the way here, but I managed to bring it down low enough that I could just have the flowers. And you get a riot of flowers and a riot of color. This one, 17 millimeter. Again, the subjects, two of them, really clear on the left-hand side. And you can do something in Photoshop or something else, and if you want to darken the background a little bit, you can, and just leave that one like that. You know, I mean, it's up to you. You do what you want with it. And then finally, let's not forget on the edges of things, on the edges of this grouping of flowers, there's all these old grasses and everything else. And coming up from the old grasses, some new life, some new wildflowers that are just very small. And if you want, you can do a little treatment on those and turn it to all black and white. Maybe just colorize the flowers a little bit, and you come up with something like that. You know, to each his own. There's all kinds of different things you can do. But the main thing is that you're showing things a little bit differently and a little more dynamically, perhaps, with a wide-angle lens. So we can see that by getting right in close to those flowers, almost like you're shooting a macro shot, except with a wide-angle lens, it offers a different perspective on shooting flowers. So good luck to you. And hey, listen, don't be afraid to get out there with your wide-angle lens. Don't be afraid to rack that thing all the way open to, 16 millimeters, whatever. Try it out. Get in close to those flowers and see what you can do with your wide-angle wildflower shoot. Until next time, I'm Ray Scott reminding you, it's not what you see, it's how you see it. And I'll see you soon.